Hey YouTube, my name is Nick and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to have another video that's talking about paying for college, but I promise it's going to be a different topic than last time. Last time we talked about things such as filling out the FAFSA and reviewing your financial aid summary. Today I want to talk about paying for college and being able to cash flow your degree and get out debt free. That should be every student's goal that's going to college, is to get out absolutely debt free, because debt is just going to cripple you and slow you down on your path to financial freedom. Quick disclaimer, as usual, is that I'm not a financial advisor, nor am I providing you with professional advice. The ideas expressed in this video are only my opinions. You and only you are responsible for the decisions that you make with your money. First thing I want to talk about is scholarships. My stance is the same as last time I talked on this subject. Do as many as you can, focusing on the ones you have the best chance of getting. Now, if there's one for an essay, for example, that you know only a couple people from your school are getting into, I definitely submit for that one, even if there would be multiple winners, because you have a good chance of receiving that scholarship. Now, if there's that one for Coca-Cola that, offers to pay one kid's full tuition, well, your chances of getting that one are probably one in several million, and that one's not really going to be worth your time compared to the smaller ones where you might know that there's not too many participants. I also want to encourage you, if you're in high school, keep your grades up for sure. That's where most of my scholarships came from, and those are the easiest ones to get. The merit-based ones are pretty much given to you once the college reviews your high school transcript. There are also some incentive programs in certain states. So I know in New York State, where I live, it's called the Excelsior Scholarship, and if your family falls within a certain household income bracket, the state will pay for your tuition to attend college. So if your state has something like that and you're within the conditions to take advantage of that program, definitely do so, because it can greatly reduce your costs and even make college possibly free. So I first chose to go to Penn State, and I live in New York, so it had a pretty bad commute that came along with it, because I didn't really want to pay for room and board. So after all scholarships and other aid, it was about $8,000 a year to attend Penn State, which isn't terrible, but the commute definitely made it undesirable. Driving an hour there, maybe having two 1 hour classes, and then driving an hour back just got tiring to do 5 days a week for 3 months out of the year. So I did a lot of research on my winter break in between fall and spring semesters, and I ended up switching to a local SUNY school, which only has about a 15-minute commute, and I can attend for about $5,500 per year after scholarship and aid is figured out. Now, I want to say I do have help from my parents in paying for college, and I'm extremely grateful for it, but the strategy that I've developed allows me to cash flow my degree with or without any aid whatsoever. And it's really such a simple strategy, and I think anybody can do it. And the moral of that whole story right there was, consider commuting to a state or community college. Unless you're getting a full ride somewhere, I think this is one of the only ways that you can get out completely debt free. Room and board make up more than half of your total college costs, so cutting those out will immediately half your bill, and you'll have a much easier time paying for college. So here's just some statistics so you know that I'm not BSing you. The average community college in the US costs about $4,000. That's just for tuition and fees. Now, if you wanted to live on campus, room and board is going to cost you an extra $6,000, making it total 10 grand. And when you think about that 10 grand and you want to break it up, 60% of it is room and board, and the other 40% is tuition and fees. So like I just said, cutting out room and board in this situation for the average student is going to cut out more than half of your college costs. And I think that where most students find this impossible is that they get caught up in the college experience. So they want, to join a fraternity and, live on campus and party every day or whatever. But you should focus on making yourself as marketable as possible while you're in college. So when you get out into the workforce or start your own business or whatever you want to do when you get out of college, you know what you're doing and you have a high probability of success, instead of wasting these years on, things such as partying or other unproductive endeavors. Alright, so we're just going to freeze frame right there just for a second. I want to apologize really quick. I didn't realize how harsh I sounded when I just am going back and editing this video. I'm not one to tell you how much fun you could have in college, how much you can party, just do that as much as you want. I just don't agree with going to college for the sole purpose of partying or for the whole college experience. But I'm not against having fun. So you got to enjoy yourself. You got to live life. And I'm sorry if that came across super harsh. All right, let's get back into the video. And if you're still not convinced, you think that going to a private institution is going to place you, higher when it comes to job rankings and stuff, there's a lot of research that shows that there's little to no difference in job placement and salary between state and community college students versus private institutions. So it's really a no-brainer to go for the cheaper option, in my opinion. Okay, so there's your first step to getting out of college debt-free. Choose somewhere close to home where you can commute. Now we're going to talk about paying out of pocket. And I guess I'm going to add another disclaimer in this video. I understand that this won't work for every single person in the United States, but it should for a large percentage of people, those that are really driven and want to, and for the majority of people that are in the right circumstances geographically, which I don't think there's much of an issue there. So here's the strategy. Super simple. I'll give you an example and then I'll run through it again at the end. So my tuition is $7,000 per year with no aid, no help from parents, nothing from any source. And what I do to figure out how much I need to save per week is I take that $7,000 and divide it by 52. I get about $135. This $135 is the amount of after-tax income that I have to save per week in order to pay for college out of pocket. So once again, $7,000 divided by 52 weeks a year is $135 per week. Pretty easy math there. And $135 a week is not difficult to achieve as long as you find some work and save a good amount of income. And because you're already living at home, you don't have many expenses whatsoever. So saving a lot of money won't be so difficult. And finding $135 to save can be done by working a minimum wage job for about 20 hours a week. That'll give you some extra spending money, investing money, saving money, whatever. And you also easily surpass that $135. If you put in more time over college breaks, put in more time working, that is, over breaks and summers, it will help a lot when the college workload starts to get busy, which I know it does about mid-semester. It just gets crazy stressful. You have so many assignments due on the same day. And the last thing you really want to do is work 8 hours after classes. There's a lot of jobs available that will work around your college schedule, and they are super flexible. I think that this goal is very feasible for any college student whatsoever. So just to recap, as many scholarships as you can possibly get. Look to see if your state has an incentive program. Then you want to choose a local college, state or community preferably, because their tuition and fees are going to be much lower, and you won't have to stay on campus and double your bill. Up next, take your tuition per year, divide it by 52. That's the amount of money you need to save per week. If you want to figure out how much money to save out of a 2-week paycheck, then just take that number, multiply it by 2. If you want to see how much money you want to save on a monthly basis, take it, multiply it by 4. Again, this is really easy math. And then after that, just make sure you're saving that amount every single week, 2 weeks, month into your saving account, not spending it. I think the easiest way to keep track of this is have a separate account for your college savings and then another one for your, checking sort of spending money, whatever. That's a quick recap. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, if you think it helped you in any way, please leave a like, even consider subscribing. And I want you guys to share what college you're going to down in the comment section below. Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next one.